Hi, everybody. Oh, we're live. Welcome to Sunday night. Does it seem like it's at the wrong time? um, I saw a couple of comments just as we were starting, and they kind of made me chuckle because I've been feeling this today. Let me see here, Carmen. Is it already dark outside? I mean, lately it's been still nice outside when I've been starting these live streams, and now we're getting that darkness earlier in the day, or sorry, later in the day. So thank you everybody who remembered to set their clocks back because it must seem like it's on at a different time. And yeah, Carmen, stay awake for the chat. Definitely stay awake. Janice, I saw this. I can never find when Anita is on. Most of the time, I miss being here. I'm so glad you found it tonight and that you're here tonight. It is on at the same time every Sunday. It's at I'm on the West Coast, so Pacific time 4 o'clock, Eastern time 7 o'clock. Those are the only two zones that I know like the exact time. So just if, whatever time zone you're in, just Google and say, what time is it in Victoria or whatever, and you will find it. But I am glad you're here. And we did get some sunny breaks today, Danny. Danny's I can practically see where she lives across the water. She's also here in the Pacific Northwest, just on the other side of the border. And it has been raining sheets for a few days, like just sheets and sheets of rain, cats and dogs. And today it was sunny in the morning. The clouds are coming back though, and we've got lots of rain ahead to look forward to. So I got my good walk in today. And Linda, thank you for your support. She ordered the Sardine challenge book and has been reading it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It also has Omega Monday stuff in there. So I hope you're enjoying it. So let me just go back over here. Okay, so that was just a little bit of chit chat while we waited for people who were searching for the live to come on. And so I see that has happened now. I do have a few announcements. I wanted to just say that, I should say who I am. I'm Anita. For those of you, if this is your first time here, this does happen every Sunday night. And we talk about all things keto and carnivore, even low carb, proper human diet. We talk about different subjects like that. I have been on this journey for somewhere around, we're getting up there now, 12, 13, 14 years, something like that. And I have lost, I'm inching up to 150 pounds lost. And it is a life-changing thing that happens. So there you have it. I mean, it's just one of those things that it is a journey, and I didn't get there. I didn't get there overnight. It literally. I'm still on this journey, literally, which is what makes it so fantastic. I think because there's so many ups and downs, and periods of time where it seems like nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden it happens. And so I've learned a lot on this journey. Please say hello to moderators that are in the chat. We've got Melissa, Copper's Kitchen, and Bonnie's Place. That's Bonnie. And they are there providing links and handing out links like crazy, and maybe some advice, both solicited or unsolicited as they see fit, because they do have a lot of knowledge. So I appreciate that they are sharing their knowledge at all times. So thanks, everybody. I have a couple of announcements from the people. They're not sponsors, but they do support my channel. Carnivore Bar, thank you very much for sending me the apple bars. I finally did do a recipe. There's another one coming A lot of people did like the cake pops that I made, and I'm going to also make a crust for maybe a Thanksgiving cheesecake or something like that. That's coming up soon. So watch for that. And one announcement is that the apple bars, for those of you that can eat the apple bars and love the apple bars, they are here to stay. They are now a permanent flavor. So, try them out. Try, especially if you have kids or grandkids, spouses, where you want to kind of lure them over to the dark side. That might be a good way to do it. And if you do decide that, I really appreciate you using my link, which will give you a discount, even on the subscription ones. So that's down below. And Meat Stock, I will be there in May of 2026. And so are a lot of, I'm just like this small in that crowd. There's some big speakers there. Like we got Dr. Boz, Dr. Bickman, I think Michaela Peterson is going to be, there are some people that are going to be there that are huge, and it's going to be a fantastic weekend. I'm going to be there a couple of days before, a couple of days after, hoping to hit Dollywood at some point while I'm there. Things like that. I'm just pretty excited about that trip next year. And this week we have a video of the week, and that video is a guide for beginners that are starting carnivore, but I'm telling you, it's also really good for people who are struggling or who are like, it really ties in with my topic tonight of tuning out the noise, keeping things simple, sticking to the plan. It is Emil's. If you guys don't know Meat Carnivore is a channel relatively new, but he's doing extremely well. We all, the Ketogenic Woman team, we are big fans of Emil's because he's got this quirky sense of humor. We love his accent. We love everything about him. And the way he just sticks to the plan, keeps it simple, and puts out some great content. So good job. That video is also in my video notes, as well as I'm pretty sure that Melissa will post that as well. So it's short. Please watch it. Another good video that I watched yesterday was Dr. Chafee with Coach Bronson and JT Carnivore. They did a panel on, keeping out, some of the noise and just focusing, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. That link will also be down there. It's, hang on. I'm just going to highlight something I saw. It is meet as in meeting someone. So MEET. Linda. So yeah, and you should find the link somewhere in there for that, so you can also subscribe to his channel. I would encourage everybody to go subscribe to Emil's channel. You won't regret it. He's so funny. Enjoy his content very much. Okay, so let's talk about, I have the same kind of topic, and I got to get my coffee cup out of, it's not coffee, it's actually, it's apple cider vinegar that I warm up, and I call it my coffee. But speaking of coffee, this month is 13 months since I quit coffee. Can you believe it? Like that is weird. I'm, drinking hot apple cider vinegar. It's like mulled wine to me now. That's how weird things get when you start giving up things and find a good substitute that you like. Okay, so I have a handout, and you can get this handout too. Let me just, let me see if I can bring it up. Oh boy. Hang on. How do I bring it up to the stage? Add to stage. Okay, there we go. You'd think I was on my own tonight. because I am. All right, so let's take a look here. I don't know if I can make that any bigger. I tried to give it a big font, but you can download it. It is free. You don't have to give an email address. I don't do all that nonsense. I just give out the information because I'm like the worst business person on the internet. But I just like to have fun with this stuff. So that is yours for the taking. You just have to download it. So let's talk about tuning out the noise. There's been a lot of noise lately, and I think it's confusing. I'm not overly crazy about all the noise because I get messages all the time. People are wondering, well, what should I do? Who should I listen to? So that's what we're going to talk about because everyone has an opinion, and even the experts contradict each other every day. I see it. I mean, we're like, well, do I do keto? Do I do carnivore? Which one is better? I mean, the labels themselves are a problem for me. I think the labels cause issues. I think if we all just could think of ourselves as being on the road to optimal health, whatever that looks like for you, it's going to look different for me. And you're going to be able to tolerate foods that I cannot tolerate, and vice versa. High fat or low fat. I mean, there's that debate raging. Eat carbs, don't eat carbs. We got that going out there. People are out there jumping from plan to plan, trying to figure out what they should do. So, that's kind of what I want to talk about. I think some of the anxiety is just plain FOMO, fear of missing out. And people are wondering and maybe thinking, what if this one works better? I mean, maybe I should try that. This person is now doing, they're adding carbs back in. Should I add carbs back in? We talked about that last week, and there was a handout last week for that. And I would say if it serves you well and it's not your addiction talking, go ahead. I don't care. Like I judge nobody for what they're eating. I am not a pure, perfect carnivore. I never have been, but I identify as a carnivore who occasionally has seasonings. Like I love meat and salt. I mean, I've been working on some lamb chops the last few days. We're talking meat and salt is my favorite way to have meat. But sometimes I'll use some rosemary on the lamb or a squeeze of lemon. And, I still think I'm a carnivore when I do that. And yeah, I know that it's not part of an animal. And I don't give a what. I just don't. I just think that we need to do what is right for us. We are all grown-ups here. I assume that all of us are over the age of 18 that are sitting in this room. And so we get to decide what we're going to have on a daily basis. We get to pick out our foods. We don't need anyone's permission to add some spices to our food or to, eat some fermented food or have a little yogurt. We don't need anyone's permission for that. If it works for you, makes you feel better, then do it. And I think there's some impatience too. These things take time. How long did it take me to get up to 320 pounds? It took 50 some odd years before I was like, oh, I need to reverse this trend. And I did. And it's not going to be, I hope it doesn't take me 50 years to get to my goal weight, but it's taken me a while to get, to be a somewhat normal weight. I consider myself to be somewhat normal. I can fit into, clothes from a regular store. So to me, that was, I never even dreamed I could do that when I was much younger. But here we are. So, a lot of when we see people doing something else and we're confused and we have a little bit of that FOMO, we think, oh, maybe that will work faster. And faster is not necessarily better, I have found out, just over the years. I really like staying the same size for a while, and eventually, like the pants that I've been wearing lately are getting looser on me. But when I buy the next size down, those are a little tight, so I'm kind of in between right now. And I know eventually, I'll have to get rid of most of the clothes that I have, because I seem to do that every couple of years. I have to purge my closet and find clothes that actually fit. And it happens. It just happens slowly but surely. And comparing ourselves to other people out there, especially on social media. I mean, it's one thing if it's, maybe a friend from church, even, or somebody that you see all the time. But what you see on social media is not always what you like. It's not always true. And so we have to be careful. We have to choose carefully who we're following and who has integrity and can be trusted to, really represent what things are really like, rather than some weird reality where everyone loses 100 pounds in 60 days. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. Um, so we tend to lose trust in our progress and think we're doing it wrong if we're not doing it like, that influencer or that influencer. So the truth is that every plan can work as long as you show up and work it. A plan that is, 100% pure meat and salt water, like Lion Diet, that will work. A keto diet where you're eating 20 grams of carbs per day, that will work. A low carb diet for some people with 50 grams or 100 grams of carbs, that's kind of the range that a low carb diet that can work. I mean, I think what people forget about when they choose a plan is that they need consistency more than anything else. So you just need to consistently show up, and you need whatever plan you pick, you have to be able to live with it for maybe a lifetime, probably a lifetime. I mean, I'm a tweaker. I've been tweaking as I go. The road gets a little narrower for me as I go, because when I started, I was just low carb, and then, keto, and then clean keto, and then ketovore, and now I consider myself to be a carnivore. Certainly not a perfect carnivore, but that's how I consider myself to be. And it I think I think one of the things that has made it so that I could lose almost 150 pounds as slow as it was, is that I've been consistent. I show up no matter what. There's been my weight can fluctuate up and down 5 pounds like every other day, and I just still just keep doing it, because the alternative is going back to standard American diet and being 320 pounds. Do I want that again? Absolutely not. I mean, this is the path I'm on, and this is the path I'm staying on, come what may. And I think if you have that mindset, really know what your why is, and just commit. If you're going to change your protocol, you've got to give it, 60 to 90 days. Like, don't do it for 2 weeks and, oh, that didn't work, and then another 2 weeks on a different protocol. And you know and I did forget to say in the beginning, if what you're doing now is working for you, don't change a thing. Like, do not change a thing. Just keep going with that. Ignore the noise, like tune that all out. So the best diet for you is one that you can actually live with day to day. I mean, that is really what we want here. So how do we tune out the noise? I am going to say something that may be an unpopular opinion. I would limit your inputs. I would pick a handful of people on the internet. I mean, I know that you guys are here because you watch YouTube, because I'm on YouTube. That's my primary platform. Still working on figuring out Instagram. I'm not even going to try TikTok. I'm sure I'm way too old to go onto TikTok. So YouTube is my primary platform, and I'm going to say to you, so many there's so many people putting out videos with conflicting information, keto, carnivore, all that stuff. Try to whittle that down. And you know what? You don't have to do it forever. Like, maybe commit to a 30-day period where you pick 3 to 5 influencers, ones that have given you trustworthy, worthwhile information in the past that you can resonate with, and just watch them. Just watch their new content, and just weed the other stuff out, just even for a little while, like, just to give your brain a break from all the noise. Um, I would hesitate to follow the ones that are jumping from thing to thing, especially, I mean, within keto and within carnivore, we do tweak, right? And sometimes we do a metabolic reset, like a sardine challenge. I mean, Dr. Boz, I'm a huge fan of Dr. Boz, and so she's one of the ones that I follow regularly, and so I listen to her advice and I follow her advice. The ones that are going, they'll do, today they're doing carnivore, and tomorrow they're doing the sugar diet, and then they're doing, something completely different. Like, I would kind of just tune those people out for now. You want to be following the same thing for a long time. Like you want to give this time. Focus on your data. Like, what is your data telling you? Are you tracking? Are you taking your measurements? Do you take your blood glucose and ketones? Like, that's the feedback that you want to look at. You want to see what your numbers are telling you, not what somebody on the internet is saying they're doing. That shouldn't drive your decisions. Your own data should be driving your decisions. What is your energy like? What is your sleep like? Your mood? All that stuff. You want to take it all into account. Focus on your anchors. And what are your anchors? I would think of it as your daily habits, the ones I call them ground zero activities. And ground zero activities are things that I commit to on a daily basis. This is going to look different for every person, but just to give you an example, I've just written down that for me, my daily anchors are, I generally eat 2 meals a day, because I fast for, somewhere between 14 minimum to 18 hours, 16, 8, 18, whatever, 18, 6. Yeah. Can't do the math in my head. I eat mostly meat. That's another daily anchor. I walk for 30 minutes minimum, or do some kind of exercise, 30 minutes minimum, every day. That's another anchor that I have. I go to bed 9:00. Sometimes I don't go to sleep right away. I might watch a little TV. But I'm working on turning it off earlier. I know my why. I know why I'm doing this. I mean, these are all things that anchor you and ground you. And, you need to be able to point to a few of those habits that are things you do every day in order to reach the bigger goals that you have. If you have a goal and it is to lose 100 pounds, and I tell you, I had that goal for my entire life. I spent most of my life being 100 pounds or more overweight. And my goal for decades was, I want to lose 100 pounds. But I never had a why. I never had anchors and these daily habits. I didn't have anything to guide me as to how I would get there. And that is so key. If you wish to lose 100 pounds, wishing isn't going to make it happen. You need to have a list of daily habits that you're going to follow. And if you follow those daily habits, you might follow them for weeks and it almost seems like nothing has happened. But don't you think that if you follow those habits and have a strong why, that eventually something is going to happen. And it just like if you just focus on meat, keep your carbs, maybe your keto, keep your carbs under 20, get out there and walk, do some meditation, get good sleep, all those things. If you're focusing on that every day, something is going to happen eventually. Like something is going to happen. So that is what I mean by your daily anchors. Track your non-scale victories, how you feel, how do your clothes fit, those types of things. Like just it's really more about what we do every day. What we do every day is going to be the thing that determines our goals and what we accomplish over months and years. And so it's really important. You don't necessarily need a new plan. You need to just keep working on the plan that you already have, that has given you success to this point. And if it hasn't given you success to this point, um, ask for help and maybe do a little bit of tweaking, but just don't just throw it out. I mean, if so many people are having some success with following a proper human diet is going to give you your best long-term outcome. And this is something I usually do at the beginning, and I realized I didn't, but what we really believe in here, proper human diet, is um, you know animal based for sure. Um, no carbs. Well, not no carbs. No processed carbs. No sugars. No grains. No alcohol. No um, boxes and packages with 20, 30 ingredients that you can't pronounce. No seed oils. Like we're talking about single ingredient whole foods. And if you focus on that every day, that could also be an anchor. I'm only going to eat foods that have one ingredient, ground beef or steak or whatever. I mean, vegetables too. Keep them low toxin vegetables. Some of us do eat vegetables, but we want to make sure that we're focusing on the ones that don't have the oxalates in them or very few. That's a whole other subject. But try to pick the foods that work for your body. If something triggers you, obviously that's something you want to leave off your list. You want to just focus on the low toxin foods and meat, and get rid of the other stuff. Remember that we all have different bodies and different needs. There's not one right way to do this. Do what works for your body. Ignore the carnivore and keto police out there. I mean, there they make me insane. I mean, there's sardine police too, like people come and comment on my sardine videos that shouldn't get this one, shouldn't get that one. Okay. And there's kitchen utensil police as well. I get flack for, because this spatula is black or something like that. Like there's things that people will complain about no matter what you do. And when you eat well, you feel well. I think I stole that from either Bonnie or Melissa. I stole it from one of them. So thank you, you guys. But yeah, when you eat well, you feel well, and you can tell you're eating well because you feel better. And that's what we all want. I wouldn't trade where I am today for anything. Like I know I'm not at a perfect weight yet. I know I don't do things perfectly, but honestly, I just keep working at it. As slow as it can be. I just keep working at it, because if I'm not going forward, I'm going to go backwards, and I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to be 320 pounds again. I just don't. Don't let the confusion steal your clarity. Find what works. Stay consistent. trust your results over internet hype. And so that I think I'm going to leave it at that. Remind you guys that you can download this little handout if you think it is helpful. Stick it on your fridge, or share it with friends. That would be great as well. And let's go to questions, because I see that I have a list of questions over here. So let me get rid of that. Okay, here we are. Let's go see what people are talking about down here. Okay. Oh, Brian. Hey, Brian. Nice to see you here. And he has gifted a Ketogenic Woman membership. Oh, there it is. There it is. Kimberly O'Brien. Welcome to the membership. I hope to get to meet you in a Zoom, in an upcoming Zoom meeting, or watch the replays. I know not everybody can make the times for the Zooms, and that's understandable. So the replays are all there, and we give a lot of information in those things, and find out how everyone's doing. So Christina loves cats. Anita, you are glowing again. It's actually a bit warm in this. I mean, it looks like I'm out on the water. I'm in this tiny little office where sometimes it just gets warm. But thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying it, for sure. But yeah, it gets a little warm, so I might be glowing from that. Messeng C, newbie here. Welcome. I'm so glad when people are here for the first time. I think that's great. I love it. Jason has been a member of this community for 16 months. I can't believe that. Like that, it seems like just a couple months ago. It really does. But glad to hear it. Smiling for you. Even within the proper human diet spectrum, when I started, that was my mistake. I was doing too many new things too soon and too often. I see that a lot. I see people who are brand new, and they want to do a 72-hour fast, or they want to try one of the more advanced techniques, when really all you need to do, your first job when you're new is to just cut the crappy foods out, the keep your carbs under 20, just get the sugar out, like get all the addictive foods out, anything that causes you to want to eat more and more, all the the flours, the grains, the starches, those sorts of things like that's the number one job. And so until you master that, there's don't go on to any of the more advanced techniques like fasting and tweaking things like that, because I think a lot of people try to do too much too soon. In their first week, they're wanting to do what they perceive the cool kids are doing, and trying all those different things. They're going to quit coffee. They're going to go to the gym every day. They're going to do all these things, and in the first week or the first month, and they become overwhelmed and fall back into old patterns that just can seem too hard. And so I think you just want to fix one thing at a time. You don't have to fix it all. You didn't get there in a week. You don't have to fix it all in a week. Jason, you can tell pretty quick who is on YouTube chasing trends for views. Find those that create content that is all about helping others. Thank you, Jason. And I'm pretty sure that I saw somebody sharing your channel. You want some tasty chaffles? Jason's your guy, so go check out his channel. He's very consistent this way, and that's what he's talking about here. Like he's consistently keto, and makes these good recipes for us to follow. So thank you for that service, Jason. Diane, hey there. One of my anchors is a tracking app on my phone to get to 6,000 steps a day. When it was hot in the summer, it was not doable. I'm now back to a goal of at least 6,000 steps a day after my move. Oh, I know what what moving can do. It's very distracting and hard, and you get out of your routine. So good for you for being back at it. And there's a myth out there that people have to have 10,000 steps a day. For people in our age group, they've actually determined that it's more like 6 to 7,000 steps a day. And so getting more can be a bonus, but it's certainly like just get what you can. If somebody is out there thinking right now, I could never do 6,000 steps a day, and maybe you're having trouble just doing anything, like start with 1,000. Like, just start somewhere. Start with a daily walk around the block if you can. And I do know that some people are not mobile. You might be in a wheelchair or a walker or whatever. There's chair yoga and chair aerobics, even those sorts of things. There's a lot of ways to exercise without getting out there, if you cannot get out there. So thanks for that. Hi, Darvit. Having a very strong why will keep you going on track no matter what appears before you in your path. I agree with that. I started to do a lot better. I was a lot more consistent once I did the why. Once I had the why and had it written out, and just think about it. Your why should make you cry, they say, and it should be something that goes deep. It touches you deeply, and so it's worth doing some work on it. It's so worth it. Thank you, Darvit. Tina, hey Tina, nice to see you here. My anchors 8 till 11 a.m. eating window. I'm trying to move mine sooner. I'm still working, that 3 o'clock. Like today my last meal was at 3 o'clock. So it's that's still a challenge for me, and I don't get that done every day. But I figure even if I can do that 2 or 3 times a week, it's going to help. Dr. Baugh's ratio average of 40. Wonderful. Sauna 5 times a week. That's amazing. A 72-hour water fast each week. Track everything in Chronometer. Yeah, so here's an example of someone she's a coach with Dr. Baugh's group, and she's doing some advanced things here, but she's been working on this for a few years, and this is not her first week, you guys. She did not come out with this routine. If she was like in her first 30 days of keto and she was putting out this plan, I would probably tell her to chill and relax. But I know that she's been working on this for years. So fantastic plan, Tina. Thanks for sharing it with us. And not everybody even has to get that, like if a 11 a.m. eating window scares the heck out of you, you may not need that. I mean, this is something that we do what we can, we build on it. And if we're getting results, some people reduce their carbs to less than 20 carbs a day. They eat keto, they don't weigh or measure, and they get all the results they're looking for. It really depends. It honestly really depends. It depends on, your age, your history, like all kind, your medications. So many things play into this. Not everybody is going to get the exact same results by doing the exact same thing. And that's another thing that we, have to think about, because I can eat the exact same thing as Bonnie and Melissa, and we've compared notes like this before, and we have 3 different blood glucose readings in the morning, because we share that with each other. 3 different ketone readings in the morning. One, the weight goes up, the other, the weight comes down, and so it's no matter what you do, it is not going to give you the exact same results as the person next to you, and even if you are eating and exercising identically. Okay, Carrie, I needed to hear all this and remember to just keep it simple and focus on my anchor. Yeah, that if you can do that, that can be so powerful. So I'm glad this is helping. Um, Diane, I was eating too much protein at the beginning and stalled on weight loss. Yeah, that can be a mistake. I mean, there's a lot of pressure out there to eat a lot of protein, and we do need protein. Women our age need protein. We need adequate protein. We don't need over the top protein. And that also is going to look different for different people. I recently finished reading Dr. Boz's book called Any Way You Can. It's a book I highly recommend. Um, when I bought it, it sat on the shelf for a while, and I thought it was just about her mom and how she dealt with her mom when she was diagnosed with cancer. It's so much more than that. There was so much in there that I could take from that and apply to my life. But one of the things that struck me in the book is when she mentioned one of the biggest mistakes that people make when doing keto is having too much protein and they can't get into ketosis. And ketones, they protect your muscle. So we if it's important to me now to measure my ketones and make sure I'm in ketosis, because that is something that helps to protect my brain, protect my muscle. I do some fasting now, so that brings down the protein, of course, on those days. And so many things are getting fixed with fasting. My digestion is amazing, just from introducing a little bit of light fasting. We're not talking, days on end. I don't do that. But like there's so many factors. And just for those of you who know me, it took me all these years. It took me 12, 30, however many years I've been doing this to be to convince myself to try fasting. It also took me 14 years to quit coffee. Like it's insane. Like I'm one of those people who hesitates over everything. Like, no, don't take that away from me. I don't want to fast. I love eating too much. Like that's the kind of person you're dealing with here. And just to be able to do those things and embrace them now is progress for me. Ames today. This is a great live stream. Thank you. Thank you for being here and supporting it. Hope Parish 295. I personally think you are just like Mary Poppins. Practically perfect in every way. I love Mary Poppins. I don't know if I'm like, I've been compared to Mr. Rogers. I've been compared to that guy who does the painting. What's his name? Bob Ross. And what was the other one? There was somebody else too. I can't remember now. Okay. Tina, tracking is tedious and a habit stack for sure. It helps the most when things stop working. I agree. Like I go through tracking phases. Sometimes I go a long time without tracking, and then I'm like, okay, the scale has been sitting there for the same or up and down, up and down, up and down, the same few pounds. Time to track. Well, where am I at? That kind of thing. That doesn't mean you have to do it forever. Some people just are not good trackers. Just do it for a week, just so you know kind of where you're at and get an idea. I mean, that's it. Kimberly Snow, did you find that carnivore worked better than keto for weight loss? Well, yes and no. It was kind of a stepping stone. I started with low carb and I lost weight with low carb until I stopped losing weight. Now, it could be that I had so much to lose that just anything, anything other than what I was eating was going to create some weight loss. But at some point, that stopped working, and I started having to count carbs. Like I started learning about keto. This was, I started seeing things on the internet about keto, and so then that, I progressed further. That worked for a while, And eventually that stopped working. And so then, as I was saying earlier in the show, the road got a little bit narrower. I had to, cut back a few more things, tweak a few things, got to carnivore. And then that got things going again. So it was more like a progression. But as I said earlier, in the show, that a plan, as long as you keep showing up to a plan, it should continue working, and you might have to do a little tweaking. Like we sometimes have to, like, I was discovering things that were giving me reactions that I didn't really know about, because before I was eating everything I came into contact with. And then when I cut out carbs, just lowered the carbs, like I was doing your standard low carb diet, I was still eating processed foods. I was still eating seed oils. I was still eating too much fruit, but I had so much weight to lose that I lost anyways. And just having to learn over time which foods triggered me to eat more than I wanted to, which foods I didn't even know about checking blood glucose or ketones or anything like that. That didn't come till later when I continued to get stuck. So as I learn more, I do better. And sometimes for some of us it's a big learning curve. And we have to take things away. And that's been my experience for myself. Other people have an easier time of it. They just follow a plan and lose all the weight they want. That wasn't the experience for me. And so I can only really share my story and how it worked for me. It would possibly be different for you or for anyone else. I can't really say that carnivore works better for weight loss than keto, because they all three, low carb, keto, and carnivore, all worked for me for weight loss at different times of this journey. And so and I've seen with other people that all three work as well. Some people have amazing weight loss success. They went straight from the standard American diet to carnivore. I know several people, like, just amazing, and others, did that with keto. And so it really is going to be an individual thing. And I would just start somewhere, like start with the proper human diet principle of single ingredient foods, and then take it from there. Slowly figure it out from there, what foods you can eat and which ones you can't. It's Marley. Watched your dehydrating ground beef video today. Great info. Yeah, I'm all of a sudden really liking dehydrated ground beef, and especially mixed with some salt and tallow. Boy, is that ever good! It tastes much better than it sounds like it should. So I really like that. Janice Manuel agrees with me that Jason has great chaffles. He certainly does. Thank you. Kel, been following you for a long time, but first time catching a live. Love you so much. Well, welcome. I'm so glad that you made it to a live stream. I just have the most fun on the live streams. I mean, I love doing the videos and all that, but the live streams, anything can happen, and sometimes it does. Anything can go wrong. There's a bit of an excitement about that. And a little bit of adrenaline going all the time, wondering what's going to happen. But it's kind of fun to be interacting with everybody like this, and I really do enjoy it. So thank you for being here. Life is good, live fully. My anchor invested in waterproof headphones so I can listen to audiobooks while swimming laps. Oh, wow. I didn't know you could get headphones that you could actually take swimming. That is really cool. And what a great way to double stack a habit. You're getting that exercise, and you are, reading or listening, not reading, but listening. And that's really cool. I like that. Melissa says, we sure so compare a lot of notes, and trust me, some of our N equal ones can be a bit ridiculous all for you guys. We do some crazy things in the name of science and in the name of testing something out to see, now, is that really a good idea? Did that really work? We also watch videos too, that we may not normally want to watch, but we know you guys are out there watching them. And so we watch them just so we can be prepared, prepared for questions and reactions and things like that. Just Jason Keto has gifted a membership. Let's see who got that. That was Lisa Ortega. That's amazing. Thank you, Jason, for your generosity as well tonight. Kel, what do you think about exogenous ketones? So, I, I kind of have mixed feelings about them. I mean, I've certainly resisted them for a long time. I do believe they can be helpful in a couple of different cases. One would be someone, like, say you have a parent or a spouse who has the beginnings of dementia. Exogenous ketones, sneaking some ketones in their coffee can be a really good thing, or whatever they drink, water, tea, because there is evidence that shows that it is good for your cognitive health. And so that's something that I would certainly consider doing. And also, when I took the Dr. Boz course, I mean, she talked about exogenous ketones, and it's not for everybody. I think that we want our bodies to make ketones. That is the absolute best case scenario. Now, when I went through that, a lot of that, in September, my sister was killed in a car accident, and I went through some major stress. My ketones sat at 0 for weeks. And, I remembered the lessons from the Dr. Boz course. And so I had some ketones in a can, and I started to take some in the afternoons, and I just would mix it. I made a hot drink out of it, and I would just mix it and have a serving of it. And my ketones slowly started to come up from 0. They didn't go very far. They didn't, we're talking, I would, instead of having a 0 in the morning, I was having 0.2, 0.3. And then I thought, okay, my body is starting to recognize something here. And then I hit it with 3 days of sardines, and then I was back in business. So, maybe I could have done that just by hitting the sardines, but I just wasn't in the mindset. And life is challenging sometimes. And sometimes, there was times when especially that month, my body did not want to do it. My body was not working with me. So I did use them because I had them, and I don't know if they helped a lot, but I feel like they did something. But I'm back to not having them again, and this week I'm back to 0 ketones. So I am planning a sardine challenge. I'm going to try that again. I don't know what it is. Like, if I'm just, if there's just too much stress going on in my life right now. I'm still settling. I'm still working on estate stuff, and I'm working on a book. I have a book contract, which I basically, lost some momentum on for a few weeks, and now I'm trying to get back into it. So that there could be the stress of that as well. Like I said, I have some mixed feelings about it. But if if it helps somebody, I mean, Dr. Boz says ketones beget more ketones. And so if you need a boost, it is something that can be used like as just sort of a temporary measure to kind of jumpstart jumpstart things. Like that's what I was trying to do with it. Darvit, it's the cheerful sunshine energy at Ketogenic Woman, Mr. Rogers with teaching and Bob Ross with compassion for sure. Oh, thank you, Darvit. That's so nice. Cindy, how do you feel about protein powders? Cindy from Missouri, I think. I have used them. I use them a lot less now. I do think it's better to eat the meat. But I think if you're having some trouble or you have an emergency situation, like I sort of see it as a supplement to be used with caution. Because I guess one of the things that I hesitate about now, especially now that I'm tracking ketones and blood glucose religiously in the morning, is that it is a processed food. And my numbers are better when I'm eating the meat, and I can't argue that fact. This is a thing about tracking. The data doesn't lie, and so that's my hesitation. I think it's good to have some in your pantry for those times when you might need it, but I don't think it's something to be relied on, for daily use instead of eating meat. That's my opinion. It may be popular, unpopular. I don't know. But yeah. So no judgment from me though. That's for sure. Okay, Beverly, where did you get your tasty air fryer? Local or online? Well, I'm in Canada, so they are not local. The Tasty people sent it to me because they wanted me to try it out and see how I like it. And I do like it a lot. Unfortunately for Canadians, it's not even available. Pretty sure it's not available on Canadian Amazon. I don't know if it's going to be. So, so you have to, you get a good deal by using my link. But if you're ordering it from the States, then you've got that US dollar conversion and shipping and all that stuff. So, as a Canadian, if you cannot get a tasty air fryer, the Ninjas are also good, especially the ones that open the lid like that. They have a lid that opens and closes on your counter. But I really love my Tasty. That now that I have it, I'm kind of skeptical about these things sometimes because I've always bought Ninjas, but I do really like it. And I love that I can, if you saw my dehydrating video today that came out, I love that I can dehydrate just a small quantity and it's a small footprint on my counter. So there's a few things like that I really like. And I think you need to have a backup air fryer. I have 3 now, and some of them are good for one thing, and of course now I have 2 dehydrators. But my Kasori dehydrator, which I absolutely love, I'd never give it up. It is great for doing 6 trays of slabs of meat and chips and all that kind of stuff. But the Tasty, that little, small amount that you can fit in there, perfect for what I did today, which was dehydrating the ground beef. So, Bonnie got her. Thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie got her Tasty from Amazon, from US Amazon. We are coming up to the top of the hour with about 3 minutes left. So I'm just going to check and see if I think I got all the questions, believe it or not. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that Isabel says that it is available on Canadian Amazon. Okay, well that's good to know. See, I didn't even know that. I'm gonna check that out. But thanks for that information. Have a great weekend, you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Next week, we're going to talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. We're getting close to American Thanksgiving. And so I know this is something we need to talk about. And we're going to talk about that next Sunday. So I hope you join me again for another discussion. I hope this has been helpful. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for coming to the live. Love you guys. Good night, everybody.